Halftime on DCV, brought to you by Indiana Tech, with personal admission reps that walk you through the process from start to finish. Keep the job you have while working towards a better one. You can take the first step at indianatech.edu/CPS. Robert Connett, Andy Wright, and Wes Lorenz back with you here at the Muncie Fieldhouse. We've hit halftime. Yorktown leading Delta here in the opening round of the sectionals, 18-12. And, guys, kind of a sloppy first half. Lots of turnovers by both teams and some cold shooting in some points of that first half. Delta went 6 minutes at one point without a basket. Yorktown kind of went on a little cold streak to end that first half, but they have the 6-point advantage. Leading scorers at the break, Caleb Morey has a couple of threes to lead all scorers with 6. Jay Preston has 5. The rest of the Yorktown Tigers, Carson Moore has a 3, Riley Miller with 2, and Riley Neal with 2. Riley Neal did not play that entire second quarter as he has 2 fouls in this game. For Delta, their leading scorers, Jalen Robinson and Clay Follenkamp each with 4. Jared Tomlin and John Kern each with 2. So, Andy, let's get your thoughts on that first half here in the sectionals.
Well, again, I think you said, a phrase you said really describes this entire game so far, cold shooting. And I'd also say hot feet, because right now the turnovers for both teams have really dictated this game, and really the traveling calls, because the officials were on both teams early and neither team got into a rhythm. Right now the difference, as Yorktown really, with 12 points in that first quarter, was able to get a few shots to go, and really it's from the three-point line. Yorktown with 4 threes as a team. Carson Moore has 1. Riley Miller had 1, and then Caleb Morey had 2. That's 4 I have down for both teams. Actually, make it 3. But hey, 3-0. So right now you've got 3 threes for Yorktown, 0 for Delta, and Delta has attempted 7. So Delta depends on the three-point line mark as well as anybody. Cam Slavin is their best three-point shooter. He's 0 for 3 from there. Jalen Robinson, by any stretch, is not a three-point shooter. He's missed 3 there. Vladivai's missed 1. I mean, right now I think, Yorktown's pressure defense on the half-court side is not allowing Delta, they're not allowing Delta to get into their sets. And really what's struggled with Delta is when they don't have that first option inside, whether that's Follenkamp or Robinson on the post, or Cameron Slavin off a screen for a 3 or a short 2, then they don't know what to do. They're struggling a little bit. And on the other side, Yorktown, they've got nice passing. They're letting the game come to them. They struggled a little bit in that second quarter with offense. They had some good looks, but, again, right now this game has come down to a few missed shots by Yorktown in the second half because they couldn't get anything to go, it seemed like, in that second quarter, only 6 points. And then you think if they double their score in the second quarter, then they've got a better shot.
Absolutely. You look at Yorktown, midway through the second quarter, they opened up a double-digit lead, and they really got comfortable. They really weren't pressing on offense as hard as they were in the first quarter. You saw a lot of lazy shots, a lot of lazy effort on the offensive side, and that really opened the door for Delta. Yorktown really had a chance to put their foot on the throat of the Delta Eagles, and they didn't take their opportunity. Now Delta's very alive in this ballgame.
So we'll have to see how this second half plays out, as Riley Neal will return to the floor for Yorktown with those 2 fouls. Did not play at all in that second quarter. Delta finished that second quarter on a short 4-0 run. 4 straight points. Actually seemed like a lot for that Delta offense to end the second quarter. So we'll have to see how it plays out as we begin the third quarter. Again, Yorktown leading 18-12. The Tigers will get the ball to start this third quarter. Don't forget to interact with us on Twitter at Delaware Co Voice, as we've been tweeting updates throughout this entire game. Miller starts the second half with a miss of the layup, rebounded by Robinson. He'll take it all the way himself to the hoop and lay it in. Jalen Robinson now with 6 points, and just like that, Delta on a 6-0 run. They're back within 4.
And that's what Delta has to do. They have to run, especially when Robinson has the ball. And you see, it turns into easy points. It's always easier to beat the defense down the court.
Caleb Morey controls it, trying to get around defenders. He finds, what a wicked shot. Somehow that falls through. Caleb Morey with 8.
I don't know how Caleb Morey got that shot in there, but incredible acrobatic ability to get that shot up, and what a shot to make it.
So it's 20-14, a minute into the second half.
But that was also a big shot because it came after a Delta shot, and they didn't get any closer with a defensive stop.
Footavai inside the paint. He's stopped. Out to Slavin. Guarded by Moore. Slavin, jumper at the free throw line. Rainbow, nothing but net. And for Cam Slavin, believe it or not, guys, that's his first bucket of the game.
Yeah, Cam Slavin has to do better shooting-wise. He's not been able to get anything to go, but he has to be a little more aggressive, I think, because he's their best shooter, and even if he has to take those rainbow fadeaway shots, those are sometimes a better opportunity for the Eagles.
Moore trying to float it in. That's no good. Press down the floor. One-on-one. Robinson with the layup in transition. Robinson with 4 points here in the quarter. Delta within 2.
Yeah, a 6-2 run for the Eagles to open up the half, and right now they look a little more comfortable offensively. It's interesting to see how they'll adjust as the Yorktown defense sets in on them throughout the rest of this quarter. Is shot and blocked by Robinson, a great finish.
Riley Miller finding the basket. He has 4.
So now Yorktown answers. A good job by the Tigers to answer the Eagles' third basket of the game. And now, again, it comes back to who can make a stop.
Folenkamp trying to spin to the hoop. Lost the handle of it in the process, I should say, as it goes out of bounds. The turnover gives the ball to Yorktown. 5:35 to play in the third. Yorktown leading by 4. They've led as much as 10 in this game. Preston underneath the Neal, misses the layup, and the board to Clay Folenkamp. 5:20 to play here in the third. Footavai, jumper, 18-footer, nothing but net. His first basket of the game, 22-20.
And the difference in this game, in this half for the Eagles, is that their shots are coming in rhythm. They're not forcing anything. And you see everything going in because the Eagles are just using their instinct and just shooting the ball. They aren't thinking too much.
Miller inside to Preston, goes up with it. Too strong as he had contact. Delta has a chance to tie or even take the lead on this possession. Footavai drives, finds the lane, hands it off to his right. Now Robinson. Got away with a travel there.
Yeah, that was a travel, no doubt about it.
Lost the handle of it, kicks it out to Folenkamp. And now for Slavin. He hits the 3, and Delta leads 23-22.
Yeah, down 6 at half. They have outscored the Tigers, count it, 11-4. That's almost the entire scoring that took place in the first quarter alone.
Almost exact, as it was 12-4 at the end of 1. So Delta coming out of the locker room on fire to start this third quarter, and a travel by Miller. If you're Coach Greg Miller, you got to think about a timeout here.
That's what I was thinking. He's going to let his players play, though, and I think, you know, a game, he knows that basketball is a game of runs, and Delta has come up and taken the lead. But now you got to wonder if Delta can continue this because, again, Yorktown is one of the best pressured man-to-man defenses in this conference. So you have to wonder how they'll adjust as well, as Delta's just gotten some shots to fall. That's only been the difference, as Clay Folenkamp underneath with the basket on a nice dish from Cameron Slavin. The Eagles keep piling it up now, 13 points, but who knows what's going to happen. And now, Caleb Morey with the 3.
He answers back to tie it back up at 25. So Caleb Morey with his third 3 of the night. Last weekend in the regular season finale against Mount Vernon, he had a season-high 6 3-pointers. The quick answer back by Robinson with the layup. He has 6 here in the quarter. Delta leads 27-25.
Yeah, it's interesting how a game can change so quickly at halftime, as a nice pass underneath.
Neal with the layup.
Yeah, but we saw in that first quarter cold shooting. Now I'm going to say it's a hot shooting night in this half. For both teams, it's a hot potato out there. It's
completely different.
It's changed
from the first half as a turnover by Delta.
But I will say part of the reason, Rob, is that the teams haven't turned the ball over as much. And right there, Robinson gives it away. And that's unexcusable for Robinson. That's his 4th traveling violation. For a guy that holds the ball as much as he does for the Eagles, you know, he's turned it over way too many times. Eagles are lucky, though, that they were able to make that run and keep it close now, because Yorktown can easily pull away.
Morey in the corner for three, and he hits another one. His fourth of the night gives Yorktown the lead back, 30-27.
Yeah, and you've got to watch out for Yorktown's three-point shooting. Caleb Morey now with 4, just like you said, and that says it all.
Shot rims in and out. Rebound to Yorktown with 2:20 to play. Miller over to Morey. Another three. That's off the rim, no good. Robinson with a rebound. Looks to take it all the way. Nice spin move to the hoop and the layup. Jalen Robinson with 8 points here in the third quarter. 30-29. 2 minutes left here in the third.
He's made all 4 shots for the Eagles that he's attempted in this quarter, and the reason being they've taken all inside the paint as Trey Cates gets a nice pass from Riley Neal and will finish and give Yorktown a 3-point lead again.
Trey Cates with his first bucket. 32-29 Yorktown, leading with 1:40 to play. Winner will advance to Friday night semifinals to take on Blackford. Both teams beat the Bruins in the regular season. Robinson, his shot is rejected by Riley Neal. Oh my goodness.
Block City is back at the field house. The hops by Riley Neal. He had 5 in that game back against Delta all the way in December. We haven't seen one yet until that thunderous dunk. Let's see if that gets Yorktown going some more.
That gets the Yorktown student section involved. Haven't heard a lot from them here tonight. Delta with the ball, trailing by 3, 1:18 to play in the third. Robinson on the far side lost the handle of it. Actually was swatted out of bounds by Trey Cates.
It's interesting as Robinson is now guarded by Trey Cates. I can kind of tell that Delta wants to put Robinson one-on-one on Cates since Cates is off the bench, but so far Cates doing a nice job of keeping Robinson out of the post when they're in the half court. Again, the difference for Robinson is that he has gotten shots in transition. Again, 4 for 4 from the field in this quarter. 3 of those buckets coming in transition for the Eagles.
Right side, Slavin. Pass over to Footavai. They work it to the left side. Robinson for 3. That's way off the mark. Picked up by Neal. Under a minute to play in the third quarter here at the Muncie Fieldhouse. Tigers lead by 3. Miller with a 3. That's no good. The defensive board for Delta. Footavai will slow it down.
Yeah, and this game has sped up a ton, and that's also allowed teams to get a little shot happy.
Footavai running around the court. 30 seconds to play. Almost lost the handle of it. Gives it to Robinson.
Yeah, you got to calm down here if you're the Eagles. You got 30 seconds left. It looks like they'll try and hold it for the last shot. And it's crazy to think that we had an 18-12 halftime score when you look at the score right now.
Yep.
If you do the math, 31 points between the two teams, and there was 30 points combined in that half.
Delta outscoring Yorktown 17-14 here in the third quarter. Contact, nothing called either way. Footavai will try a 3. Too strong. Rebound kicked out to Moore, and that will end the third quarter. Both teams explode offensively. We will head to the fourth. One team will advance to the sectional semifinals. One team, their season will come to an end. 32-29. The fourth quarter coming up next right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
Interact with Delaware County Voice through social media. Like us on Facebook, simply search Delaware County Voice. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Delaware Co-Voice. We'll let you know of any breaking news from the schools in the county, when our next broadcasts are, and post updates during the games. DelawareCountyVoice.com on Facebook and Twitter.
If you're looking for a smartphone, Yorktown Wireless is worth the drive. They're located at 2209 South Broadway Street. They'll see what is the best option for you. Yorktown Wireless Center, proud sponsor on DelawareCountyVoice.com. We have a ball game headed to the fourth. Yorktown leading Delta 32-29 as the teams combined for 31 points in that third quarter alone. Caleb Morey is leading all scorers. He has 14 points, 12 of them from beyond the arc. Fourth quarter underway. Delta with the ball. Footavai controls it. Pass over to Rob Fox.
And here's where Delta has got to get back to good shots in the half court. Now, Yorktown, interestingly, switching to the zone defense. So we'll see how Delta adjusts to that.
Three-pointer on the way too strong for Footavai. Bounces off the backboard for Riley Neal. Goes up for, tried to dunk it. Footavai came in for the foul.
And a good foul that time by Footavai as Riley Neal had an open path to the basket. You knew he wanted to dunk that. And Footavai said no sirree that time. The 5'8" guy going up against Riley Miller at 6'5". Certainly a difference in height there, but good foul that will send Neal to the free throw line.
So Footavai with his second foul, and that is the first foul of this entire second half. No wonder that third quarter went by fast. Lots of points, no fouls. And not very many turnovers either. That first half and the third quarter, you compare those two, completely different.
And that's the beauty of basketball. Things can change in just an instant. And, we saw how this game changed from a cold shooting affair to an offensive clinic. As Neal misses the second free throw. But, it just shows that a team's never out of it. And, if a team like Delta, for example, hits a few shots and gets the lead, the game can change. But now the game is reset. Fourth quarter, a big part of this game. Delta down 4. If you're the Eagles, you got to focus on getting good shots. But Yorktown, they've got to focus on staying strong on defense and not giving Delta any easy shots.
Winner will play Blackford in the semifinals. Loser, their season comes to an end. Neal with the steal. His pass deflected, gets it right back. Miller, foul, and one.
Amazing presence of mind there by Riley Neal as the ball was tipped into the air. He kept control of it. Once he picked it up, he found the streaking Riley Miller going down the court. He gets to the line and one. Yorktown getting some momentum here early in the fourth.
Coach Doherty will take a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. Free throw coming after the break. Yorktown leading 35-29 on DCV.
The University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne granted $14 million in scholarships last year to students like you in Northeast Indiana. Our admissions team can help you discover scholarship options that may be of benefit to you. Whether you spend an hour or all day, let's have a conversation about your future. Tour the beautiful campus, meet professors, a coach, or sit in on a class. It's all available and individually tailored just for you. Arrange your customized USF visit at sf.edu/visit.
Good food, good service at a good value for every meal. That's the goal at Richard's Restaurant. Be sure to check out some of their roasted chicken for dinner. That's Richard's Restaurant, various locations across northern Indiana. That sounds pretty good right now. After the Delta timeout, free throw no good for Miller. He cannot convert the three-point play. Delta with the ball, 7 minutes left, trailing 35-29.
And with the speed of that third quarter, Delta was able to get a lot of transitions looks, but it looks like the game has slowed down so far.
Top of the key three, no good for Slavin, but the putback underneath for Jalen Robinson. He now has 14 to tie for leading scorer in this game.
And there's another way Delta can get points, offensive rebounds. They've got to crash the boards on their second chance attempt, and Robinson, one of the tallest players on the court, helps them do that.
Riley Miller stopped along the baseline, gets it out to Caleb Morey. Now Preston, top of the key. Bailey Miller, he's checked in for the first time tonight. Left wide open. He'll pass it over to Riley Miller. Now Preston on the far side. Jake gets it underneath to Riley Neal with Folenkamp all over on D. Over to Morey. Fakes the three. Drives inside. Short two. No good. Rebounded by the Eagles. Down the floor. Lambert. Nice crossover move. Back to Folenkamp. Under 6 to play. Slavin over to Fortify. Now Lambert, the freshman, tries a three, and he hits it from the right wing.
And there's the X factor for the Eagles. All season long, when Tanner Lambert comes off the bench and hits something, especially from long range, that gives the Eagles a ton of extra boost.
A 1-point game with 5:35 to play. 35-34. Bailey Miller controls it for the Tigers. Pass to Morey. Caleb gets the pick from Bailey Miller, now hands it off to Riley Miller. Riley over to Caleb. He'll pull up another three. Way too strong. And a foul going to be called against Bailey Miller as Robinson got the rebound.
That was a huge shot by Tanner Lambert on the other end. If he doesn't hit that, again, that goes in that category of long missed threes. And, that's certainly not a shot that Delta wants to take every time around. That was certainly a better shot because it was in rhythm and Tanner Lambert took it off a pass that he was open. So that's the difference between those long threes that Delta took in the first half compared to now. But, right now, guys, I think it's got to be about who makes the stops on defense because Yorktown, again, remember, they silenced Delta to 4 points in the first quarter. Let's see if they can get back to that defense here again and silence the Eagles' offensive spurt here.
Slavin looking to drive inside. Now for Robinson, the jumper, hits it. Delta takes the lead, 36-35.
And again, Robinson, he gets streaky on those jumpers. It's certainly not the first shot you want him to take, but if he hits a couple, he can get going.
Miller inside to Neal. Over to Carson, looking to drive. Floats it up, no good with the underhand layup. Robinson the other way for Delta. He'll slow it up with 4:25. Fortivai, wide open three. Hits it from the far side. Coach Miller will take a timeout as the Eagles with their largest lead of the night, 39-35.
And that's the first timeout taken by Yorktown in this game off a play. Craig Miller's got to talk to his team and get something figured out because Delta with too many open shots right now.
Full timeout. We'll be back on DCV.
There's still a place. There's still a place where performance is enhanced by extra effort, not by performance-enhancing drugs. There's still a place where contracts are between coaches and players, and the terms are non-negotiable. There's still a place where an edge is something you gain by working harder than your opponent. There's still a place where sport is pure. That place is the high school in your community. At the Indiana High School Athletic Association, we believe that while competition can be fierce, it doesn't change the fact that it's only a game. The goal may be to win, but the point is to have fun. And if you want to be reminded of just how great sports can be when they're played the right way, then the place to be is at a high school sporting event in your community. High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the IHSAA and the high schools in this community.
4:22 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Delta with their largest lead of the night, leading Yorktown by 4, 39-35. Winner will advance to Friday night's sectional semifinals. Morey got stripped, gets it back, goes up, and one! Oh, what a move! What a basket for Caleb Morey!
Caleb Morey is certainly able to hit those acrobatic shots, and he's definitely one of the team's best scoring options. And, when Yorktown needed a basket, they went to Caleb Morey, and why not? He's had 14 points coming into that shot. He now has 16, looking to add on with the free throw.
The foul going against Jalen Robinson. His second free throw is good. 39-38. Morey now has 17 points on the night. 5 away from tying his season high, which he had in the regular season finale last weekend. Delta controls it. Folenkamp hands it off to Robinson. Robinson, jumper off the mark. Rebound tipped out. Preston controls it. Yorktown has a chance to retake the lead. 3:35 to play.
And even though Robinson hit one of those earlier, that's the shot they want him to take.
Lambert with the steal and the basket.
And Tanner Lambert with the extra effort on that play, able to read the pass. The freshman making big plays here in the fourth quarter.
3-point lead for the Eagles. Underneath, Neal with the layup. Riley Neal with 7 points here tonight, 41-40.
And Delta's got to get back on defense. Riley Neal wide open underneath.
3 minutes left here in the opening round of the sectionals. Robinson trying to find Follenkamp underneath. Ball picked up by his teammate, Cam Slavin. Now Fortify over to Robinson, and he walked.
Robinson now with 5 travels as he spinned on the ball, and
Jalen not really agreeing with that as he talks to the referee. And Yorktown, with 2:45 left, has a chance to retake the lead here. Down to the wire in this rivalry. And it means so much more because the loser has their season come to an end. Neal, double teamed, and a reach-in foul going to be called.
Tanner Lambert hit the arm of Riley Neal that time. And so, yeah, the officials are going to call that if you hear any smacking of the hands at all.
They actually call it against Follenkamp. That'll be his first.
Now that I'm surprised by.
Inbound goes to Morey on the far side, looking to drive inside, draws the foul, can't get it to fall. But the junior will go back to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And right now, Caleb Morey is saying, give me the ball and I'll create. That's what he's doing. And right now, driving to the hoop, getting the free throw line is probably the best offense either team could ask for. Delta has hit a couple of threes and gotten shots in transition that have helped, but right now, Yorktown, with Caleb Morey going to the free throw line, that's certainly a good sign for them because you want to try and get easy shots in this close game.
He misses the first one. That foul went against Fortify. That is his 4th.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Second attempt, good. And we are tied up at 41. Yeah, Caleb Morey now with 18 points.
Yeah, Fortify, the only player in this team with any significant foul trouble and the starting point guard for the Eagles.
Ball kicked loose, picked up by Miller. The turnover by the Eagles. Riley finds Morey for 3. Too short. Rebound to Lambert. He'll bring it across the half-court line. Lambert goes up for it, off the glass, no good, no foul, picked up by Miller. 2 minutes to play. Miller looking to drive, and he is fouled on the floor.
Lambert that time got a little too excited, I think, in transition there, just throwing up a bad shot. Coach Doherty wanted him to take it out, and fortunately he doesn't convert into any points on the other side transition-wise, as Yorktown got the foul by Lambert. Still 41-41 with 2 minutes left to go. This is what you dream for, guys. Big game here in sectional play.
Preston controls it. Yorktown has led as much as 10. Delta has led as much as 5. In a tight-knit second half, Neal and Coach Greg Miller saw him in trouble, calls the timeout with 1:36 to play. All tied up at 41. Here in sectional, 24 on DCB.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Delaware County Voice on social media. Be sure to interact with us. Follow us on Twitter at Delaware Co Voice. We're also on Facebook, facebook.com/Delaware Co Voice. 1:36 to play here in regulation. We're all tied up at 41. Yorktown and Delta, the Tigers, 15-4 on the season. Delta at 10-11. The Tigers beat the Eagles in the regular season by 11 points. And it was 18-12 Yorktown at half. After the Coach Miller timeout, inbound goes to Morey. Miller for a 3 off the back of the iron. Gets his own rebound and draws the foul and one.
Terrible defense that time by Jalen Robinson, allowing Miller that time to get open on the three. He missed the shot, and then give credit to Miller, able to get his own rebound. It was a long one coming back in, and that's a great break for Yorktown. They needed something because it seemed like Delta had all the momentum going, but a great three-point play opportunity for the Tigers.
Foul goes against Cam Slavin, his first. Miller, free throw, got it. Converts the three-point play. Tigers up by 3. 44-41, down to the final 84 seconds. And now Coach Doherty will take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout, so we'll take it with them. 3-point advantage for the Yorktown Tigers here in Sectional 24 on DelawareCountyVoice.com.
Looking for a new smartphone? Come see us, Yorktown Wireless. We're worth the drive. Contrary to popular belief that an indirect store is more expensive, we'll put that rumor to shame. Yorktown Wireless can be found at 2209 South Broadway Street in Yorktown. Check your upgrade eligibility, browse our selection of phones, and talk to a representative about what options are available for you. Mention the promo code YTOWN1 to get the best deal available. Yorktown Wireless, 2209 South Broadway in Yorktown. Call them at 765-759-0800. Yorktown Wireless, 2209 South Broadway in Yorktown. Call 765-759-0800. Proudly providing internet service to DelawareCountyVoice.com.
Where you are. Hey, you, look around. Can you hear that noise? It's a rebel sound. We got nowhere else to go.
Back here at the Muncie Fieldhouse, Robert Connett, Andy Wright, Wes Lorenz on DelawareCountyVoice.com. Delta will have the ball coming out of this timeout. Yorktown leading 44-41 with a minute 24 left in regulation. Winner will play Blackford in Friday night semifinals. Lambert across the timeline. Pass over to Fullenkamp, left wing. Now to Robinson. Back over to Lambert, right side. To Slavin. Looking to drive. Moore all over on defense. 1:05 left here in the fourth quarter. Lambert looking to go right to left. Morey on defense. Under a minute to play. Robinson looking to drive inside. Got tripped up. Nothing called. Fullenkamp basket and one for the big man.
And that could have been a dire situation for Delta as Robinson tripped. Right there was Clay Fullenkamp to hand the pass off to, and then Clay able to finish underneath. Back and forth this game goes. Let's see what Yorktown does on the other side to answer. Clay's still got to hit this free throw. He's missed his only 2 this game. 60% on the year.
Foul goes against Riley Neal, his third. Fullenkamp. Yorktown fans making noise. The senior, free throw. And it's no good. Off the back of the rim. 44-43, and Preston is fouled.
And I don't know about that one, just because that puts Yorktown in the bonus. With 18 fouls on the Eagles compared to 2 for Yorktown. That's a big stat, too, because that'll send Yorktown to the free throw line. Now, number 24, Jacob Preston, going there. He's 3 of 4 tonight from the charity stripe. And this first one's a big one.
Hits it, earns a second. Jake Preston, 72% free throw shooter on the year. Now 4 of 5. Make it 5 of 6 here tonight. Back to a 3-point lead for Yorktown. 46-43, and another timeout taken. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here at the Muncie Fieldhouse as you get a look at the Yorktown timeout, the huddle. And what a game this has been, Andy, Wes. First half was sloppy, lots of turnovers, low scoring. Both teams exploded in the third quarter, and here in the fourth, it's been back and forth.
Absolutely. A very exciting game to watch. Very fitting. Both these teams, hard, true gritty teams out there on the floor, and very fitting that it comes down to the wire here in the opening round of sectional play.
Yeah, both teams have really wanted this one. You can tell Delta woke up offensively and got going in the second half. And then Yorktown is then able to respond to all of Delta's runs. Delta has not gotten a lead bigger than 3 points in this game. So give credit to Yorktown for slowing down the runs of Delta. But now the Eagles with the ball have to make a play happen with 40 seconds left.
Left side, Slavin double teamed, and he is fouled. Or did he call a timeout? They're going to award the timeout to the Eagles.
That's a break for Delta because Cameron Slavin was awfully close to stepping on the out-of-bounds line there. And Yorktown with great pressure, able to force him in the corner and tie him up. The Eagles don't have too many timeouts left, so keep an eye out for that as the game goes on. 36 seconds left.
And you look at the foul situation with Yorktown, just 2 fouls here in the second half. You can expect them here in these last 36 seconds. If Delta comes anywhere near the three-point line, they're just going to foul them. They're not going to let them try and put up a three-point shot.
Yeah, that's a good point, Wes, because on the other side, Delta has to be careful about which players they foul because they'll send them to the free throw line, whereas Delta, or Yorktown rather, has that ability and freedom to foul whoever they wish. Basically, before the shots go up, just foul. So you got to be, if you're Yorktown though, you got to be instinctive and know who you're going to foul when you do it. Because with 30 seconds left, say, Cameron Slavin has the ball, you probably might want to foul him in case he doesn't shoot the three-pointer. It's an interesting strategy, although I think what's going to come down to is Yorktown's just got to play good man-to-man defense here, not get beat at any point.
So they'll come out of the timeout with 36.2 seconds remaining. Yorktown leading 46-43. It'll be Delta ball. If we do have a tie up, the possession arrow belongs to the Tigers.
And there's something that Yorktown might do as well, try and time the ball, but you got to be careful not to foul as well.
Inbound will go to the backcourt for Footavine. 33 seconds. Bounces off of Miller. Footavine near the top of the key. Hands it off to Fullenkamp. He'll hand it to Lambert. 23 seconds. Footavine picks up his dribble. Gets it to Slavin. Lost the handle of it.
And he was fouled.
It'll go against Miller.
So now with less than 20 seconds left,
Riley Miller's second foul.
Yeah, the Eagles have to try and get a shot up again. You can't hold the ball too much longer. Got to try and get a shot off.
Inbound will go to Robinson, and Coach Doherty will take a timeout. 19.1 seconds left. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
And so far out of the previous timeouts that Coach Doherty has called trying to set up a play, you can tell it's a play to get one of the three-point shooters open. But, when the shooters are on the floor for Delta, and really Robinson, Quadavai, Lambert, and Slavin can all hit threes on the court for the Eagles. But you can definitely tell that either Slavin or Lambert is probably going to get the three-point attempt for the Eagles. So probably a play diagram for one of those two. Yorktown has got to be aware that all four, though, can hit a three. And, probably if you're Yorktown, Robinson's the one guy you might want to leave open for three. But because the Eagles, I think, have to have a three here. It's too late to go for a two and try and foul. I mean, maybe you do and try and foul really quick, but I think that's too risky with 20 seconds left.
I actually disagree. I think that you play for the two with 19 seconds to go. You foul Yorktown, then you're looking at around 10 seconds left. They're shooting a 1-and-1. They missed that one. You go down, you still have another timeout left on the board. You can set up a play 4-2. So I think the smartest thing for Delta would be to take advantage of if Yorktown is guarding the perimeter.
Lots of options for Coach Doherty and the Delta Eagles. Let's see what they do here. Inbound from the far sideline. Footavine to get it in. Gets it to Lambert in the backcourt. 15 seconds, and Morey, they call a reach-in foul.
And Yorktown fans cannot believe it.
You see Coach Miller on the sidelines. He was quick to react to that, saying, oh, I thought that was a steal.
And then again, Yorktown doesn't necessarily disbenefit from that. Again, every foul they get until the seventh foul is a free one.
Yep, they only have 4. Here we go, 13 seconds. Long three, no good for Robinson. The rebound to Miller and the foul with 10 seconds left.
And I'm not sure that's the shot Delta wants, but Robinson took it with pretty strong affirmation that he was going to make it. And I don't know if that's the shot you want with your best three-point shooters Slavin and Lambert on the floor.
Coming with the element of surprise, if you will.
Yeah, and again, Robinson can hit those, but he has missed 3 coming into that game, make it 4.
Miller hits the first free throw to make it a 2-point or a 2-possession game.
So that's his 5th three-pointer of the game missed. Robinson on the other end, and then here you have number 11, Riley Miller, converting on the other end with the first free throw.
Second attempt. No good. Rebounded by Folenkamp.
Delta's got to move.
8 seconds. Fortify. Looking to find an open man. Robinson, deep 3 off the front of the rim. Fight for the rebound. Buzzer will sound. And the Yorktown Tigers find a way to hold on. 47-43 is your final score here at the Monty Fieldhouse. And Yorktown escapes. They will advance to Friday night semifinals to play Blackford. Yorktown now 16-4. Delta will finish their season at 10-12.
And a good matchup by both teams here. Certainly a great game to start sectional play. As both teams gave it their all, Yorktown led early on in a cold shooting affair, and then the offense turned up. And at the end of the day, Yorktown made more plays than Delta to win this game, and they'll move on to play the Blackford Bruins this Friday in that first game of sectionals. And then, we have the second game here of this doubleheader, Muncie Southside and Hamilton Heights. So sectional 24 is underway.
So one game in the books, and it's Yorktown defeating their rivals from Delta 47-43. We'll take a timeout. Post-game show coming up next right here on DelawareCountyVoice.com.